not an actual presentation where we're not going to actually deliver value straight away. This is just more so to introduce you to the new coach that we got on board. So I'll give a bit of an introduction. I know you've already seen the videos probably online. So we've got Tommy. He's going to be one of our new men's coaches, along with myself, for I'm also a male. But he's been through the full prep process himself to photo shoot stage condition. It's actually comparable to stage lean. So he understands what it feels like to go through that. Obviously, from a muscle mass standpoint, he's still trying to build up and get competitive eventually. And you're possibly thinking of getting on stage and but as you know, our brand is not about that anyway. We do have a big interest in obviously everything that comes from bodybuilding, and that's where it derives from. That's why we're so good at what we do. But it's not about actually competing for us. We think bigger than that, in all honesty. So that's a bit of background on Tommy. He's already done a video introducing himself fully, but we're going to go through some questions that you lot have asked today. Siobhan, as well, not to leave her out. It should be ladies first, shouldn't it? I've done this twice now.
Yeah,
every single time. I always go man first. But anyway, this is Siobhan. She's got a massive background in training people, PTing people. She worked for ASOS in London for years as a coach for their staff and their corporate staff in the building. So it's quite a good job. We've managed to poach her away from there, caused a bit of an upset up there.
We caused a bit of a stir.
Quite a big stir, actually, yeah. But we've got her on the team now, so that's going to be exciting for the women. She's going to offer a lot from that perspective, which is something that is not my area of expertise, as you all know. I mainly focus on working with men because that's what I fully understand. We've produced good results with girls, as you've seen, but this is just going to be taken to the next level now, having Siobhan's sort of expertise in that area. But anyway, do you want to go first? I'll let Siobhan talk first if you want to give a bit of an introduction to yourself quickly.
Hello, I'm Shiv. I don't think there's any girlies on, is there? But
there's actually none on. No,
it doesn't matter.
It's a tough crowd for you. You're not gonna. It's a tough sell for you tonight.
Oh, I know, it's tough for me now. Well, men. I don't know if you're gonna want to hear this or know this, but yeah, basically, I coached in ASOS, worked with lots and lots of different people. I actually worked with a few men as well, and basically, I come from obviously a female point of view with getting stronger, dropping body fat, getting that toned physique, which what most females do aspire to get, and that's kind of what I do. I've basically specialized in female physiology because we are more complex, believe it or not, with our hormones and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's where I kind of really specialize in, to get the girls the goals, basically. But yeah, I'm excited.
Cool.
It's going to be good.
Tommy, do you want to follow on before we actually start talking to everyone else?
Yeah, so I've been an online coach for about 2 years now. I was doing it on the side of like my main job, but I had a passion from it from like a young age, and started just investing in myself and helping like mates out for free and stuff. And then it's led to where I am now, where I'm able to just do it full time and be part of PB Academy, which is very good. So I'm looking forward to working with just a broader range of clients and yeah, just taking people on a journey. Like,
yeah, cool, awesome. How's everyone doing though? Whoever's got their mic on. Alex, you got your mic?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Now everyone's buzzing, to be fair. Like, since you've all had a lot of patience, definitely over this weekend, with messages being a bit slower this weekend, we've managed to announce everything now. We just decided to do it all in one day. We were going to wait a little bit longer for the summer challenge, but we just thought, why not just put it all out there now? You've seen us all go away. You're all wondering why. But that is the reason why. So yeah, it's going to be a massive year, building on what we done last year. Last year, we done the photo shoot challenge. It was hell of a day. Like, we got everyone down. We all went out for food after it. Everyone was, in shape, loving their life, ready for summer at the start of June. And then we went on a bit of a night out, to be honest. It ended up being like that, but it was a good laugh. And it's what we're looking to do again this year, but hopefully a little bit bigger and better. We're going to have more photographers down, so they're going to be able to take more photos, video the whole thing. Obviously, there's going to be awards and everything like that. It's going to be a hell of a day. And then there will be bigger prizes, as you're aware, where the winner of the best transformation, so it'll just be you versus you, literally you versus you, not comparing to other people. The best transformation voted on by yourselves, not me, not the coaches, literally by yourselves, will decide the winner. The best transformation will be going away with a friend to Marbella. So yeah, this year we're trying to do something a little bit different, make it bigger and better than what we see out there, and just offer a little bit more incentive. Because one of the biggest conversations we have when looking to get you lot in shape is, have you got a deadline? You know, have you got a goal? Have you got that reason to actually commit to this and make a change? And we wanted to just give you that incentive and make sure you've got an even bigger reason to get in shape this year. So we asked you earlier for some questions to find out more about us. And this is a bit of a more of a chill team talk, to be honest. I know you're all fired up for the week anyway. Normally we do a presentation. We go into detail on little topics and stuff like that. We will continue that from next week, but we thought, why not this week introduce you both properly and just find out a lot about what we actually are as normal people, not just coaches, right? So a lot of lovely messages. As I said, there was a lot of hate as well, which to me, right, it's anonymous. So I don't know who's this coming from. And
It's all me, so it's all
yeah,
me.
I know. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I put it in the chat, right? I put it in the group chat, but I put it on my Instagram. And normally when I put it on Instagram, there's a lot of hate come through. And usually when there's a lot of hate, it's usually because you're starting to do something good. So I'm quite happy to see that come through. And with the positive messages, there was loads of people saying, like, you know, wishing the coaches good luck, wishing what we're doing good luck, just happy to be part of it because of everything we're trying to offer back as well, and not just kind of, you know, do the job and leave it there. We're just trying to build this community, you know, and you can clearly see that now. But anyway, so covering the challenge question first, because we've had a few about that. The latest date to join the challenge is going to be March the 6th. So it's 13th of February now. March the 6th is when we are going to be starting the challenge officially. So that clears that up very quickly. Coaches, this is a question for you both. So Tommy and Shiv, we'll lead with Shiv now because obviously I've got to go female first, even in 2023. Yeah. Right. What can you actually bring to the team?
Number one, fun. No, I'm joking. No, basically everything from a female perspective, I suppose. Experience as well. I mean, I've had a lot of experience working with people hands-on, which is brilliant because it does really sort of help you with when you're working with loads of different people with your own knowledge as well, and how to actually help people in certain ways, especially with exercise execution and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say everything from a sort of a female standpoint, and like the struggles we have when achieving a certain goal. Yeah, so all that kind of stuff, really, all the good stuff.
Yeah, I learned a lot from you already. Just to touch on it with the menstrual cycle, right? Obviously I'm aware of the menstrual cycle and the phase that they go through. I didn't realize the impact that it actually really does genuinely have on a girl. And
Yeah,
I've coached women for years now, like worked with women, but I didn't really appreciate how much of an impact it actually does have. So that's something I've been made aware of a little bit more, to actually give them a little bit more slack when it comes to that sort of period. Literally.
I knew I was coming.
Yeah, I had to go for it. I didn't plan it, I swear.
Men, you are lucky. You are lucky. Yeah, men go through like a very stable sort of state of the month as well. Like, you know, if you're not achieving your goals, then there is definitely a reason why, as well as like with females, it can be because of the hormonal change and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a complicated one. We are complicated. I told you this.
Oh, we know that. Don't worry. Tommy, what can you offer the team?
So with me, like on my journey as well, is I've like taken it to the extremes of like a bulk to like with my job as well. With my job being so active, I had to eat loads. So it's like I know what it's like to be uncomfortable, like sat there with a plate of food in front of you. You don't want to eat it, but you've just got to get it done because you've got that vision of that end goal as well, and you know that it's going to be worth it. So I know what it's like to like push the boundaries to the extreme of doing a bulk, and then I obviously know what it's like then to go to the complete different end of the spectrum, where I done a 4-month like prep for a photo shoot, and what I learned in that sort of phase was one hell of a lot. It's more rewarding, like the journey, rather than the actual photo shoot itself. It's like what I learned about myself and about my body was much more rewarding than seeing the photos at the end of the day. Like for me, like the photo shoot was obviously rewarding, but it was a journey more than anything, because now I feel as if I can provide like a high standard to my clients, especially with like going into a photo shoot and like having professional images in June now, like with people who are going to be getting to like the uncomfortable state where they may be getting a single digit body fat, or they've got a 9 to 5 job and they're still trying to juggle around doing cardio, training, and eating like really small. Like I know what it feels like to be in that situation, and it's not nice, but it's like I can provide then that emotional support where I've been there, I've done it, I know what you're going through, and then I can just help them pull through it as well. And because like I was doing it with a 9 to 5, which was a very, very busy job as well. Like I was doing 15 to 20K steps a day. So it was challenging, like a bit too challenging at some points, but it's like I said, I'll be able to like give value to people who have like busy jobs, whether they're like construction worker or like they're just moving loads. Like I'll be able to know what they're going through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And in all fairness, I've seen a lot of boys like do photo shoots and stuff and condition wise, and that was one of the things that stood out about you first of all was the condition you did get in.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable.
Anyone that gets in that condition, like it does have my respect because it's hard to get to that low. Right, yeah. There's a one question I'm just going to knock off quickly, right? Where when we first announced about the coaches or talked about the coaches, I had a lot of messages of people concerned. And I just want to finish this right now. Anyone that's been working with myself, the situation will not change. So it will just be us working together. There will be zero input coming from anyone else. Apart from if we literally have a conversation, and I think, for example, with Shiv, I've done it quite a lot with the girls, where I feel she will provide benefit. I've said, do you mind if we invite you in and create a group and work together now? That's the only time this will happen, and you will be made aware of it, and I will ask you for permission first. Going forward in future, how will it work with the setup, with people that come in and inquire? It will completely depend on the person's goal. So I will be involved in every single client anyway, regardless. So I will be overseeing everything and working with the person directly if they want to work with me. But if they do, like for example with Shiv, like she's a perfect example, because as a female, if a girl comes on and they're like, I want to work with them, they don't want to work with me. They probably don't want to work with me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not God's gift to coaching. I know that. But anyway, that's the way it's going to work out for people currently on board and going forward in future as well. Right, question for you two. Why were you drawn to work with the PB brand? That's quite a good one.
Woo!
That's one for me. I haven't even asked that. Yeah.
Who's going to go first?
Come on, you lead every time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I think obviously you guys know because you're in the academy, but the systems and what is set up, like the app and everything, the education is so good. I think from a coaching point of view, what we can actually give to our clients. So in the way the system is set up, it allows us as a coach to actually give as much value as possible to the client, which I want to do. I want to give as much as I can in order to help them as much as possible. And I feel like one is just a really fab like community and fab team. But yeah, the actual what you've got in place is just unreal. So why not? Yeah,
perfect. Awesome. Tommy, try and follow that by.
Well, like Shiv's near enough like hit the nail on the head there in terms of just like the community itself. Like I feel as if like already like we all just sort of know each other and everyone's like approachable in the gym. But like a main thing for me and why I wanted to join PB was the whole educational side of it as well. Because as good as it is to like coach clients and take them on a journey, it's like what you don't want is like when they finish for them just to be like sort of uneducated, not sure what's going on, and then start to fall into the old habits and get back to their old ways, then give it a month or two and they look like they did when they first started. So I think the education part is a big factor of it, because throughout the journey of like check-ins, just like daily support videos that we post as well and that PB post, I feel as if like each and every person will take value from that.
Yeah.
So that when they do finish with either of us, they've got like an understanding of how to track macros, how, like, if they wanted to put on weight, they'd know how. If they wanted to lose weight, they'd know how. Same with the maintenance. Like, it's like, in terms of like putting on weight and losing weight, like, it sounds pretty straightforward, but it is very complex when you do actually try it for yourself, like, especially with female clients with hormonal like imbalances in certain times of the month and stuff. So yeah, just the whole educational side, mate.
Yeah, and to be fair, like that's something that started to frustrate me in the end more than anything. And there's the reason why we brought it in so heavily towards the end of last year, was because seeing people and reaching out to people that had worked with us before and seeing them kind of lose it slowly over time as well, like almost not knowing what they were doing anymore. And I would rather set up more of a premium service where you give them all of that, and then at least they are genuinely sorted for a longer period of time or life. Like, that's the incentive for us to actually go ahead and provide all that, because I don't see any other coaches doing that. And that's why I wanted to do that and establish it more as a brand more than anything. To be the place where there's so much information in the world now, at the tip of your fingertips, where you don't know if it's right or wrong. So if we can be that sort of company that, you know, the information is genuinely not only real from a scientific perspective, but also backed by real results with people. That's the difference, I think. We had someone asking what the gym Wi-Fi password was. Random. Tell me a random fact. I don't know if this is a dangerous topic.
A random fact.
Yeah, go on, Shiv.
Oh God, I probably got loads. Well, I said earlier, didn't I? Well, my ears are actually stuck together at the top. I know that's so random, but they
That's why she
actually
got my son.
yeah, that's why you have to shout at me.
Yeah. Tommy, you got anything about?
I don't have any like facts, but if I was, I don't know, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Like facts, but
I can't think of anything too fair.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I'd have to think about it, because certain facts I may say may get me in trouble. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Like the interesting facts that people would actually find funny.
Have you got a fact? Have you got a fact then? Have you got a fact that people probably that you've done in your life, something you've done in your life that people probably wouldn't expect you to have done?
Oh, 100%.
That you're allowed to say. That you're allowed to say.
Oh no.
That tells you a lot about Tommy, everyone. Welcome to Tommy. Right. Okay. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not getting involved. Right. Do you hate anyone? I don't like this question, but do you hate anyone?
No.
Hate a strong word.
Yeah.
Dislike for people, but
yeah, I feel like when I was younger, generally, like I could probably count like 2 people that I actually hated, and as I've gone older, I'm like I don't feel that sort of emotion towards people anymore.
I just like
it's like, what's the point? I think it's a younger thing, isn't it? Like, I think when you probably maybe feel like you hate someone, but when you get older, you realize like there's only a small group that matters, and anyone else is just kind of, you know, they don't have that sort of emotional pull over you. I don't find that's getting a bit too deep for a Monday again, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, are you straight?
No.
Are the coaches straight?
Yeah.
You better answer that properly with those glasses on, son. People will be calling.
I know, they're blue light blockers, son. I need to get sleep tonight.
Yeah, no, I think we're all straight here. Not that there's anything wrong with it, just to cover our fucking asses, right? We have got some actual decent questions coming up, right? And then you can ask anything on here as well, because there's a small group of us. But what do you think the meaning of life is? What's the meaning of life for you then? What's your why do you get up in the morning?
Success, drive.
What's success though? That's a good question. What is success?
See,
what do you define success as?
For me, I just try to, like, I don't want to get too deep with it all in it, but
now is the time. Come on.
I just try to be 1% better every day. I like.
Oh, Tommy, I love that.
Yeah, because I think if you try like too hard, like you may like sort of crash like pretty quick. Whereas if you just set yourself like daily tasks and then just tick them off, and then over the week you can see how much you've done. But yeah, I always tell people as well, just try and be 1% better, because if you're 1% better by the end of the year, you're gonna be a much better person than you were when you started.
Definitely, yeah.
You're
100%.
crying, yeah.
Chef, you got anything? Because we've got a
Um,
good group in here, and I'd actually be interested to ask you a lot. I'm gonna ask you all the same questions, so prepare an answer if
um,
you don't mind.
I think, to be honest, I think it's just about being happy.
Yeah,
I
but
know that.
I don't like that answer, see, because
Why?
happiness is an emotion and it comes and goes just like anything else.
Yeah, obviously you have ups and downs for the days, but I mean in a general, sense.
Lucas has
Like,
gone off now because he knew the question was coming.
yeah, it's like I'm gone.
No, that's what I
Um,
wanted to ask.
no, I think like about being, I think about waking up in the morning, being excited about your day. I
Yeah.
think life's too short not to feel good and, looking forward to things. And to be honest, I think for me, it's about like, if I've made a difference to anyone else's life, then
Yeah.
I'm happy. Even if it's something like helping a client, or I don't know, letting someone go before me in the shop. I don't know, like randomly, like
Mhm.
if I've done anything to help someone, I think that's classed, So a bit about that as well, I reckon. I mean, I'm not very good at these deep questions, I'm not gonna lie. So
I
you'll
always
have to
think it's
leave
too
me off.
bad. Right, Alex, come on. He runs a podcast.
Come
We'll ask
on,
him a
Alex.
question.
I talk about this stuff every week. I should be able to answer this
You
question.
should, yeah. Go on.
Here
I
we
thought it was
go.
going to be a fly in the wall as well. I didn't realize it'd be a small group. I was just going to
No,
join.
I know. Well, I had a feeling it would be because of the type of call it was going to be. But yeah, go on. What's the meaning of life, Al? You tell us.
Do you know? I don't know. I mean, to
Come
be
on.
honest, I'm with Tommy on this. I think it's sort of like passion for progress. Without progress, there's no meaning to anything. If you're moving sideways in life, you're just existing and being pushed like side to side by society.
Yeah.
If you're not actually driving for something yourself and moving forward every day, there is no meaning. So
Yeah, that's a good
leave it
one.
there. Yeah, that's the way I see it. If you're not moving forward, there's literally no meaning to your day whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
that is very
like
true.
that
And
one.
we're all about moving
Yeah.
forward and
I know,
keep
literally.
moving, aren't we?
All about that progress. Right, Lucas, come on, son.
After doing third now, I have to just agree with everyone because it's the same point. But
No, I think
it's
we're
the
all
same point. But yeah, purpose and finding your purpose and following that.
I was going to say the words purpose. Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to add the word purpose over progress, but
100%.
other than that, yeah, it's basically the same point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think I'm going to say this as well, but more so as a man, like men need purpose, and I feel like the reason why
Yeah,
men
so I was
suffer
thinking
more.
Oh, you're misogynist, yeah?
I know. Here he goes
I
now.
know.
No, it's true. It is
Andrew
true. It
Tate
is
over
literally
here.
true. Is yeah.
So top G Llew Gibson over here.
No, don't start that. Don't start that.
Oh, gee.
Ben, you got anything to add? Because if anyone else is on you, I can't see you, but I can see the ones with their faces showing. So, Ben, have you got anything you want to add to that? Have you got a mic?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, son. What's the meaning of life for you?
I think I'm just happy to wake up like every morning and
Stop
grateful
it,
for another day, like,
yeah,
and just grateful for another day that God's like give it to me, and obviously He's blessed me one day, one extra day, so you got to put it in, like,
Yeah.
to make it count.
that's living in the moment. That's something I need to learn.
love
Good,
that.
yeah. I'm terrible.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's class. That's literally something I struggle with. So, yeah, I feel like with the way I am, I'm always looking way too far ahead, and I forget sometimes to just come back a little bit. But that's why I feel like I'm good at this, because I'm planning out everyone so far in the future and just being so kind of black on white with decisions. Sometimes I need to put a bit more emotion into the decision making. So that's where I know Shiv and Tommy will help. Like we talked about this before, because the way I am sometimes is a bit ruthless. But yeah. And what I was going to say as well is like with what you said about the meaning of life, I definitely feel like purpose is one of those things that you need 100%, like man or woman, you need it. You do need it, because why else are you going to get up and try and be your best? So that's going to allow you then to become your best and continue to search for progression. One thing I'll actually never forget is before I turned 12 years old, I know this sounds weird, right? But my mother, she's a teacher. She's obviously a great mother. She's going to cry if she ever watched this, which she won't. But she said to me, because I was like quite a naughty kid, and I remember her saying to me, the way you act when you turn 12, like when you turn 12, and it was a weird like mother's tale, you were stuck like that forever. like as a person, like as a personality. So the type of person you are when you turn 12, when you hit that 12th birthday, you cannot change. That's who you are. And I've never forgot that, because I shit myself and I was like, oh my God, I don't want to be like this forever. Like, and I just continued searching to try and change from that point. And I literally never forget that. And literally as I grew older, then like when I hit 13, 14, 15, I kept thinking, oh my God, is this going to be it? Like, is this how I am going to be forever? And I was constantly like, and still am probably in fear a little bit of being stuck and being unable to change and unable to progress. And every year I still turn around to it and say literally like, I still, as I go through every birthday now, I think like, oh my God, I can't believe how much I've changed since last year and last year. And I don't think it ever, I don't think it ever stops. If you choose to continue searching for learning and growth and stuff like that. I was going to turn into a coaching plug then and say that's why you should invest in coaches. But no, in all seriousness though, like that's what I always search for. Like whenever I get spare 15 minutes, I watch something on YouTube that I feel like I'm gonna learn from. And like I know Shiv's like obsessed with like watching anything to do with like expanding her knowledge. So
yeah, look, I've got this. Yeah, the Spotify.
don't put that away. But yeah, no, I think the growth, and that goes back to growth, purpose, everything like that. If you don't have that, it's a ticket to becoming depressed in this society we live in. We need something to get up for. But that's the deep talk over with anyway. Right, bit of a fun one. What's the worst advice you've ever had? Shiv, go on.
Worst advice I've ever had.
We'll make it gym related for a laugh. Go on.
Oh, gym related. Oh, the
What's the worst advice?
HIIT workouts are good, and like I'm gonna change from doing HIIT.
Yeah, nothing wrong with HIIT though.
Do you think? No, I'm joking. No, but in the sense of like, you know, jumping around and not really seeing progress in that sort of sense.
We're gonna have an argument live in front of everyone now if we carry on. No, like what? So what's your problem with HIIT then? Because this is a good little debate.
Oh, here we go. Now.
Here we go. On. Well, it's not really HIIT, is it?
What isn't? High intensity interval training.
Yeah, HIIT isn't really HIIT, is it? You know when they market it as HIIT, it's not really high intensity, is it?
It's more if you make it intense.
Because it's not really load, you know, like the HIITs you see on YouTube.
Intensity, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not really high
super technical. That's where you're being.
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, this is good, isn't it? It's more density because you're doing so much in a short space of time.
Yeah.
Rather than intensity is like loads. So basically what I'm saying is
it's not
strength training,
because intensity is defined as literally as close to your 1 rep max as possible, and it's the opposite of that.
Basically.
This is what I have to put up with. This is literally the technicality of this now. Right. Okay. What's the worst advice you've had, Tommy?
Was it what, gym related?
Yeah, we'll go gym related. Go on.
Oh, I don't know. It's a tricky one. Like more like no doubt about it. When I first started, I probably asked some big guy in the gym for some advice, and he probably gave me some really bad bro advice. But most recently, I think the stepper. I hate the stepper. Going like someone. Well, I got to do it for 30 minutes, and when I was like deep in prep, my cardio was 5 times 30 minutes on a stepper, and honestly is the worst thing ever, especially if you've got seriously bad leg DOMs as well. So that's one thing I'll be cautious of programming for my clients.
Putting too much step mass in,
because it can't
Shell doesn't care though. He'll give it to you every day.
I literally do not care. I went through it as well. Like on my prep, I was doing an hour of fasted every single day on the stairs, 0 days off. Like it was just repetitive.
It's horrible.
It was disgusting. You had to put like
back as well.
You are
with a kickback as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. And sometimes I'll do 2 steps at once, just to get the glutes in. But no, in all fairness, like that is a ticket to basically go and mind numb, isn't it? It's like,
oh yeah, you just like what I do is I just stick a YouTube video on and I just try and zone out. Like I find the first 5 minutes are always the worst. Anything after that, then like my leg, I can't really feel my legs, so I'm just like just switch off and just watch a YouTube video.
Yeah. One of the worst advice I've had from the gym, and I followed for ages, was the post-workout window and how close it had to be. Like I was literally, I would literally take a protein shake with me into the gym, just so as soon as I finished my last set, I would be sipping it straight away. Like, and I'd done that for ages, and I'm sure we've all probably done that at some point. But yeah, all right, we're gonna finish on one more question, because I know I've kept you all for a long time now. And if you want to ask any more questions, then like you can ask any questions. But every time I ask that, no one does. So we'll see. It's a smaller group this time, so we might have some. So this is going to go to Shiv first. Any advice on someone getting into coaching?
You mean as in
Someone wanting to become a coach? What would you get? Any advice you'd give them?
I would say, oh, am I gone? I would say work hard but work smart, in the sense of like surround yourself in that environment, work with lots of different clients, lots of different people to gain that experience, because you do learn so much from actually coaching. Like I remember when I was starting off, I would literally be writing programs for anyone and everyone to be able for me to help, different people basically and get that experience. I would be doing classes, trying to give value to people. I think that's what you've got to do really. And also just knowledge. I mean, even now, like you probably say the same, like we're all still learning as coaches.
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
Constant, like I've learned off you and Tommy, like, other coaches, mentors, like, and I think, Tommy will agree, because I know he does invest in himself a lot as well as you do, but investing in yourself as well is a big one. Like I think working with people is the way to go really, to be honest.
Yeah. And again, like it's not a plug. It's generally not a plug for us, because you're in with us and you've worked with us before, or anyway.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
No, I know, and but that's it though, isn't it? It's the truth. It's like there's so many ways to spend money these days, and you can spend it on anything. You can spend it on the most expensive £300 t-shirt that people seem to wear, and I don't know why. But when you go buy a t-shirt for £10, I'll never get it. But you could spend that money on genuinely setting yourself up to have skills, and the only way that you're going to be successful in life these days is by having skills, and skills that are going to outlast over the next, like, a lot of us are young in this group, right? Over the next like 5, 10, 15 years, wherever it is, it's actually setting yourself up with skills that are going to carry you forward. And the only way you're going to do that is by learning from people that have already had the time to put into developing those skills. That's what I see. Like you can go and do a course, but you can actually now have access to these people, whereas 5 years ago we couldn't do this. So we're living in a great time where you've got access to these people, to these online situations that were never there before. So we've got to take advantage of it, and that's what we do. Especially, like, I've got 3 people different avenues that I'm working with right now. I know Shiv's got 1 more, I think, and Tommy, you've got, is it 1 or 2 more you've got, haven't you? Different coaches that you work with. So yeah, there's a lot that we do on the back end that we are continuously trying to learn more. So yeah, what advice would you give, Tommy?
For me, like the best advice I could give, and once again, like it's not like a plug to get us as your coach or whatever, but the number one thing I do is get a coach just to learn their ways, learn how they like manage their clients, how they structure everything. Because it's not just like a transformation you will get. Like I've worked like a few coaches, and you take value from every coach, regardless of who it is and what stage you are in. Number 2, you've got to be passionate. You've got to be like, in a way, I don't think you can ever be over passionate, but like for me, like this is what I absolutely love doing. Like this is what gives me my purpose, in terms of like every day is the same for me. Like my Saturday is my Monday, my Tuesday is my Friday. It's all the same, but it's one of those where like I wake up, I know what I'm doing, and I'll do it to like the best of my ability. But like when I started, and like for people who like want to get started, is like you just got to like help as many people as you can for free. Well, I'm not saying for free, because sometimes then people may not adhere to your plan because there's not a price tag on it, so to speak. But what I did is when I first started like my education in like I was clued on with the gym, but then I started investing in my own knowledge and education. But then I also on the side of that, like started helping close mates of mine. I said to about 3 or 4 of them, I was like, look, this is what I want to do. Follow this for 12 weeks. And I promise, like, I won't charge you, but please just follow this for 12 weeks. I need to get a few results. Let me know how it goes. And obviously doing the weekly check-ins and stuff. And then it's just a case of just getting your name out there. Like, don't be afraid of sort of letting people know that you are a coach. Like, I feel as if it's one of those, everyone wants to be a coach in like the sort of fitness industry, but no one wants to like put in the work, so to speak. So as long as you are willing to put in the work relentlessly and like in your free time, in your breaks in work, like when I was in my old place in work, it's probably bad, but I was doing my PT course in work. So I was doing all the education on the computer in work. And then I'd go to the gym, I'd come home, I'd watch countless amount of bloody YouTube videos about it. And then yeah, like you just build up a big knowledge, and then you can then take your clients through that as well. But what I am a firm believer of is walking the walk, because for me, I wouldn't I wouldn't like to coach someone and tell someone to do something if I haven't done it myself, because I won't know what they're feeling like. Like if someone came to me and said that they wanted to get completely inside out shredded, can you do this for me? If I hadn't done it, then I wouldn't feel as if I could tell that person to do it, because I won't know what they're going through. I won't know what the struggles really is. So walking the walk, invest in yourself, in your own knowledge, and just helping as many people as you can for free of charge, or if you want to make a little bit of money off it, you can. Because what I did find is when I weren't charging people, no one was really sticking to it, because it was like, oh, it's free anyway.
Yeah.
So then what I started doing then was like a 50 quid on it, 50 quid a month, and then you do get results, because that person then subconsciously thinks, I've paid for this now, so I have to follow it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That was a really good answer. It was really in depth as well.
yeah.
That would actually really help someone, like genuinely, if they heard that and they wanted to become a coach. That's such a good. That would set them up. They know.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's podcast material, Tommy.
Is that an invite?
It is. That could be an invite. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. Have you got any questions, Al? Because you're chatty on you.
I'll ask one question. This is for all three of you, actually. What do you think would be? What do you think will be? I know you just started, so it's like you kind of like, you know, working it out as you go. But what do you think will be the main differences now working sort of at PB as a team versus sort of as solo coaches? Like, how do you think it's going to be different now? You know, I'm thinking of you, Tommy. Obviously, you did your own thing, right? Just you.
Yeah.
So how is it going to be different now that you've got Shiv and Llew and you're working together essentially as a team?
So
And that's for all three of you, by the way, not just.
Yeah.
So do you mind me starting this one off, Shiv?
Yeah.
Oh no, go for it.
So like with me, like before I joined PB, I was coaching by myself and like my own brand, so to speak. And if I ever had a question from a client, it would only be my input. And I'm not saying like I weren't confident in my response, but it would only be me telling them. Whereas now you could ask me a question, but there'd be potentially 3 of us with our own sort of different expertise, like all pitching in, and then we can give like a very valuable response and from 3 different mindsets. So it's like in terms of working with a team, it's like we can bounce ideas off each other, we can teach each other throughout the whole process as well. Because I think no matter how much of a good coach you are, I think you can always learn off any other coach, regardless of like what results and how long they've been doing it for. So yeah, and especially with like Llew's background and stuff and like the results he's got, it's like we will, with the 3 of us now, it's just gonna be crazy, and like just being able to like help provide a good solid relationship and value to that client.
You guys are like if you get a question, and Tommy, you're you can sort of chuck that at Llew and say, look, what do you think about this? If it's something you're not quite 100%.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Like even if I was sort of confident in what my opinion would be, like say if you asked me a question and I sort of knew like what my response would be, I may run it by Llew and Shiv anyway, just to be like, what's your thoughts on this? I think X, Y, Z, and then they could incorporate, like they could tell me something which will then open my eyes to something, and then it's would be like two people, so three people like advice going into one then. So like there's a good value like response.
We've already seen that, haven't we? Like literally over the last week, like it's opened my eyes and it's made me realize, to be honest, this is the thought I've had, Al, is fuck, I've built it to this point so far and it's produced these results already. And from this now, what we've just done and what we've talked about in terms of just this week, going through check-ins together and or everyone putting in the input before making a decision, I've been like, oh my God, like the results that people are going to get now is going to be so much better. Like I've literally taken a step back and gone, shit, this is going to be above what I could have done on my own.
Yeah.
And I
done it sooner.
Say it again.
You wish you'd done this sooner, or was
no, because I don't think we'd have been able to. Like I don't think it would have worked. But right now is like it's taken months like in the background, but now is the perfect time. It's all been timed pretty well, I'd say. Obviously I wish I would have had that input sooner, but this is gonna be insane now. I'm buzzing after seeing how well it's already going. So
I'm very excited.
Yeah, and definitely having a bit more being less ruthless with people, maybe.
Some people need it though.
Some circumstances. Yeah, no, that's it.
Like me now, you can't be soft on me. You just.
Oh no, I ain't gonna be soft. Don't worry. I don't think that's it. It's gonna be more of like, oh yeah, but think about how they feel, and then it's back to like, no, get on with it. yeah. But no, Ben, have you got any questions you want to ask?
Yeah, this is for all three of you as well. Like, have you guys ever had like a point where you gave someone a plan and then the plan didn't work for them, or it was going up too well at a point and it just fell through?
100%.
How have all three of you overcame that by not just thinking, oh shit, it's gone? How have you guys overcame it and then thought of someone else?
I'll take the lead on this one. So like I've had this, like, obviously when you work with hundreds of people, it's like, even when you look at it from a statistical standpoint, right, with anything, there's gonna be a minority that you're not going to work well with, if that makes sense. It's just a matter of fact. It'd be an idiotic thing for me to say that I can work with every single person and it's going to be 100% successful. The only thing is, though, I'm confident in saying that if the person communicates. The reality is that the only times we haven't had success is when that person, so out of that group of 100, the person has not communicated exactly how they're feeling, or exactly, checking in on time every single time, or even checking in at all. Like, some people will not do that and make the effort on their end, and there's only so much you can chase someone as an adult before you are thinking, well, I've asked them to do one thing, and that's check in and communicate, and they're not doing that. And that's the only reason why a plan breaks down, because I've had it where I've sent out a plan and it's not been the right plan, but that person, the client, has come back and said, this isn't working for me, it's not suiting my schedule. And I've been like, right, okay, like, explain to me in detail what your schedule looks like and we'll make it work. So it completely depends on, it's just down to communication, I think. If someone communicates, there is a way to work it around any situation. It just comes down to that. So what do you guys think?
I was. Go on, Tommy. Go on, babes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, I agree with everything you said as well, Llew. But I think what a lot of people do think is when they sign up to have a coach, that they are going to get results like immediately, and just because they've signed up and they've got someone as a coach, that they're going to get results. Whereas, like, you have to put in the work yourself as well. No matter how much knowledge that we guys have as coaches, we can give you all the tools and everything that you need. We can give you the perfect plan, the perfect training plan. But if it's not followed, if we're missing check-ins, if we're having, if we're like missing training sessions and stuff and it's not being communicated with us, then it's a case of just like a relationship sort of breaks down. And that as coaches, that's not what we want. We want to be able to have that trust with clients where we know what we tell, like what we give them, it is going to be followed unless they tell us otherwise. So if a client isn't enjoying a certain food and they're swapping it for something else, if they haven't told us and that's still in their plan for 4 weeks, and we're wondering why they may not be dropping body weight, where they've been having a different meal one compared to what is on plan and it's double the calories, then it's just like, as a coach, it can sometimes sort of get frustrating. So it all like sort of links in with the whole communication side of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Nothing to add, Shiv?
No, to be honest, sorry, I was just gonna say he's kind of covered it really.
No, he's
But I
covered.
was just gonna say, like, every time I speak to a client, like every time, I always say, this is what I'm here for. Like, don't worry about pecking my head, don't worry about messaging me. Like, because at the end of the day, the more you tell me, the more you contact me, the more information I get, the better really I can help you.
Yeah,
in
that's true.
one sense, because how you're feeling and what's going, if something's going wrong, your concerns, what's going well, all of that stuff. Especially, I know it's all on the check-in form, but sometimes people can miss stuff out as well.
100%.
So I think the more they message you, the more they communicate with you, the more the better it is. And sometimes I feel like being a coach, like being a bit of a detective. Like, you have to like sometimes analyze like what's actually going on with this person, and how can I really, really make sure they stick to this plan? Because sometimes it can be a lot of different things. So yeah, I do feel like sometimes you have to be a bit of a detective, don't you? And try and sort them out, really.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it becomes. But we don't want to get there. Like, we don't want to have to be a detective.
Yeah.
It should be for us. We know what to do, but
Yeah.
when given the results in front of us, in front of our eyes, the data speaks for itself. We just know the next move. That's what they want from us, basically. And is confirmation through the accountability that we give them, that they have to kind of check in, then we tell them what to do next. And that's the way it works, and it works well because they trust us. But once that communication breaks down, like it's the chances of success breaks down a lot as well. But yeah, that was a good answer from you all, to be fair. I'll try not to leave this go over an hour. So we got Ian and Kane in here as well. Do any of you want to ask a question? I'll put it to any of you, if you've got your mics on.
Not that I can think of, no.
No?
I haven't got anything.
Awesome. Ian, have you got anything you want to ask? Oh, was that you?
I think they both chipped in.
They both chipped. Oh, did they? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you want to ask, boys? No?
I think so.
I appreciate you joining for such a long time as well, because I know everyone's time is valuable.
Yeah.
Especially Alex, because the podcast is going well now. I know he's been busy over the
Podcast
weekend.
king.
Big guest over the weekend.
Yeah, little plug, Club Iron, get on it.
Yeah.
Good work, really good work.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, anything you want to know now, topics that we're going to go into, because every presentation from here on, every team talk will cover a presentation. Make sure you pop it in the chat. I know the majority still watch it afterwards when it's recorded. We are trying to pick the best time. Still, 6 o'clock on a Monday seems to be the best for everyone. Most people end up being free. The group kind of changes around, which is cool. But yeah, the more we can get in here, the better we can provide it, because we can answer questions.